Well, there seems to be a bit of a backlash against Oprah because of the Meghan and Harry interview. That's an understatement if I've ever made one, right? There's a huge backlash, especially from people in the United Kingdom. People who before would have had a very favorable view of Oprah Winfrey. Now all of a sudden, there is, well, I've never liked her anyway. You know, that kind of sarcastic tone. Well. Now all of a sudden, Oprah Winfrey is not a big deal. One thing about Oprah is, even if you don't like Oprah, she's a big deal. When Oprah went to Australia, when I asked some friends from Australia, what was it like? They said it was bigger than the Queen showing up. It was just the biggest outpouring of goodwill that you could ever expect for an African American woman or any brown person in Australia. The coverage of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex seems to be particularly brutal. Now, they were welcomed with open arms when they went down there. I mean, I watched it every day. That was the gift that just kept giving. And so you have that. I'm painting this picture to demonstrate Oprah's popularity everywhere in the world. And now all of a sudden, when it comes to the people of the dwindling British Empire, the United Kingdom, and in particularly the English, they seem to have this really negative response whenever her name comes up. Well, that is a bunch of baloney. Okay, so that's one thing, that the general public feels that way. But when you have a member of the royal family, someone who would love to have had the success of an Oprah Winfrey. As a matter of fact, not someone, two of them. And that, of course, would be Ford Fiesta and Pennywise. Either one of them would do backflips for a mile if they could have Oprah's success. The success that Harry is having with production as an executive producer, that success is something that his uncle Pennywise would definitely want to rise up to in his lifetime. But unfortunately, he was pretty much just resigned to doing more documentaries about the royal family. He tried to do something whimsical, and the press ate him up. Just like when he went to the military for 4 months, they ate him up. So right now, he's not really drawing an income from anything but being the son of the sovereign. And as for his wife, well, she tried to keep her job. Now, I'm not even going to go into details about Ford Fiesta. I'll let you look that up yourself because it's not all very attractive. As a matter of fact, the hot mic moment that she had when she seemed to disparage the royal family, I believe it was a hot mic. But anyway, she said some really negative things about her family, the royal family. So you have that to consider. But these are the people who all of a sudden have an end for Oprah Winfrey, at least one of them. You know, Pennywise, much to his credit, he seems to be rather neutral in most situations that I know of. If there's something that I don't, please let me know. But it's the social climbing, aspiring queen sidekick that really is the one who seems to be, that has the mouth, shall I say. She should be the last one that's, going there with people. But nope. Instead, she wants to run faster, jump higher, and argue the best case on behalf of the family. She really ought to lay low, but she's giving the Queen her money's worth, just like a Ford Fiesta, a very dependable vehicle that can get you from point A to point B. Seems to be very sturdy and well built. Even though it's not the most attractive vehicle that you could ever drive, it will definitely take you where you need to go. So, yeah, I was, these things are happening because they're trying to shut down the Sussexes. And so to do that, they have to go after anybody that they're close to. And, taking on an Oprah Winfrey is not an easy feat because, Oprah's not the almighty, but she's a tough cookie. And she survived the tabloid attacks back in the 80s and the 90s, and she lived to tell about it. So never underestimate Oprah Winfrey. Oprah always lands on her feet. And for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to say that Ford Fiesta may have her chest stuck out today and have her chin up, but at some point, she's going to realize that she's not the popular one in the family that she thinks she is. She's buying her time, just like so many other people with that family. They just buy their time and hope that if they walk that line that they're going to be okay. But it's not the way it works in that family. So good luck, Ford Fiesta. May you get another 100,000 miles. Do they still even make those things? Full disclosure, Oprah used to have 2 dogs. One was named Solomon, and the other one was named Sophie. As in Wessex, Sophie. That same spelling, Sophie. Life really does go full circle, doesn't it? She once had a dog named Sophie. Just saying. I'm guessing it just really outrages me that what is their income? What does the Wessex, how do they contribute to the greater society? I mean, I know there's all of those like royal patronages and such, but do you really want to take on working people? Because when it comes to working hard in the royal family, you don't necessarily attribute that to Ford Fiesta. When it comes to working hard in that family, you don't really contribute that to Uncle Pennywise. So, gosh, that it just takes a lot of nerves to. It's like that vote that they had a while ago, where they wanted to decide, was the Queen's brand stronger than any other international brand, and was her popularity greater than that of Beyonce and Oprah Winfrey? Oh, I don't know. I think if I was given as much as the Queen was given, and mind you, I have to say this, I don't have anything against the Queen, but the way of life, the lifestyle, the ultimate come up when it comes to inherited wealth, which I feel like my ancestors had a huge role to play in that wealth building. To ever compare anyone in that family, aside from Prince Harry, who, God knows, that they really, really exploited him. I'm just going to say it. Prince Harry was greatly exploited by that family, and when he fell in love and he needed their support, to help make a safe and healthy and happy environment for his bride, they did the complete opposite. You know, they reverted to kind and just, nah, we don't think so. From the things that Ford Fiesta said, you would think that she would have been a little more careful with her words. And the idea of going after Oprah Winfrey like that was just really bad judgment, really poor judgment. The Countess of Wessex has actually made a visit to the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy in South Africa. It's an all-girls school where they take some of the most gifted girls who otherwise would never have a chance to have a good quality education, and it's a way to actually help build wealth in their communities back home, because they are taken from the community and given a safe space, for lack of a better word, where they can grow and develop as leaders in their community. And of course, they can take that energy back to their community to help the greater community. But, you know, instead, the Countess of Wessex, aka Ford Fiesta, decides that she would just overlook that visit that she made to the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy. It just seems like an odd thing to poke fun at, especially at this time. You know, however you felt about the Oprah Winfrey interview, being a person in that privileged position, making some light of you know, at one time the wealthiest woman of African descent in the world. I mean, that was no easy achievement for Oprah Winfrey. And I remember back in 1984 when she first started the local talk show, AM Chicago, Oprah used to book guests on the show herself. It was just a team of like 3 people. That was the staff was like 3 people. And from that, she was actually the 3rd woman in entertainment to ever own a production studio. You had Mary Pickford, and then you had Lucille Ball, and then there was Oprah Winfrey. So Sophie Tucker, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have glanced at her picture like that. Sophie Wessex, that's it, Sophie Wessex. She, maybe she was just trying to, nah, she was being cruel. I really don't like to bash people. I do like to make fun of people sometimes, but I'm not like, you know, determined just to bash people. But that being said, it happened, and well, I don't know, maybe she'll think twice next time before she say anything so wantingly ridiculous. Anyone who's a friend of the Sussexes, they tend to find themselves in the line of fire. Now, some people can withstand that type of pressure better than others. Oprah is a seasoned veteran because she has survived a lot of hostility throughout her career, but she is still standing, and we have to be there for her. I'm willing to do everything that I can within my power to speak out on behalf of anyone that has found themselves in the crosshairs of this type of media scrutiny because they happen to be friends with either the Duke or Duchess of Sussex. It's unfair, but it is the way these things work. I will never understand how anyone can not only viciously attack people with the truth, but to just make up things, to tell lies. And I'm not even speaking of the coal miner's daughter right now. I'm speaking of the just in general, the way the media works. I found myself years ago, I stopped watching the local news because it was all murder and mayhem all the time. And so began to focus more on international news. And the way I became such an Anglophile, it really had a lot to do with Princess Diana. And I found an escape in learning about all of those institutions of aristocracy over the years, mostly because it was kind of like a soap opera. You know, it was history with a lot of personalities, and the one branding that you can't get anyplace else in the Western world is the British aristocracy. But you can never confuse that with those, aristocrats as necessarily being very nice people. They have wealth, they have privileges, but they put their pants on one leg at a time, just like the rest of us. And then occasionally you have someone who marries out of their lower level of society into the aristocracy that tend to, try to be a little bit more snobby and militant than the actual blue bloods. And such was the case with the courtiers. The courtiers, they use their roles of employment with the royal family as celebrity. And they get away with a lot of stuff because they work for a royal household. And they can, just like this thing with the Queen and using her prerogative or privilege or consent. Well, just imagine how many crimes have been committed within the royal household, and the poor kid that worked there, or even if it's an older person that worked within those royal households, they could not voice any type of complaint against the royal family because of that meddling of the Queen that gave them privilege above the rest of society when it comes to any type of civil actions or any type of lawsuits, or you just could not have your day in court against the crown. And that is the result of that royal privilege, or that Queen's consent. So I'll confess I don't know a whole lot about the British law, but it seems that the Queen is like the only person in the country who can never be called to witness or even arrested, which is how Paul Burrell managed to get out of that trouble he had with Princess Diana's belongings, was the fact that all of a sudden, and this is the good old sweet old lady Queen, who all of a sudden recalled a conversation she never had. She recalled that conversation she never had with Paul Burrell, where she asked him to keep some of her personal possessions safe. All 547 of them? No, I'm just kidding. I think it was about 350. And, his home was literally bursting at the seams full of Diana's stuff. But because of the Queen's role, she's above the law, she could not be called as a witness, which essentially shut down the case. So, yeah, that's that sweet old lady that everybody fawns over. And anyway, so I'm done. I got that off my chest. But I keep seeing the coal miner's daughter's face everywhere, and I just had to let that out. Don't forget Tina and Michelle. It's Sunday, so that means it's Sussexsquad. Don't forget Tina and Michelle, Sussexsquad. Go to the Sussexsquad podcast and set your reminder. It's only in a few hours, so don't forget. Thank you. Please like and share. Also, if you can contribute, there is the PayPal, the Cash App, and the Patreon. I just got some new Patreons today which was a huge thrill. And then also there was someone who gave me a donation in the Cash App. Unfortunately, when I tried to thank that person, I hit the heart emoji, and it just kind of, went through before I could make any other comment, and I was not able to go back and add to that comment. So I do apologize for that. But thank you so much. That was a huge surprise when I woke up later in the morning. But yeah, thank you from the bottom of my heart, all three of you that either joined my Patreon or sent the Cash App today. And yeah, I got some more stuff for tomorrow. Don't worry. Remember, daily uploads on All Sussex, all the time, Royal Sussex channel. Okay? Thank you guys. Love you.